Hey, it's Sarah with Loaves and Dishes, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make boxed cake mix better. So, on the back of most box cakes, there are 3 ingredients that you add. You would add water, milk, or water, oil, and eggs. So, for how to make it better, usually the recipe calls for 3 eggs. We're going to add 4. So, you're going to add 1 extra egg. Also, I keep bumping the camera in this. We can just keep count of how many times I accidentally bump the counter. So you're going to add an extra egg. Instead of water, you're going to add a cup of milk. It's usually a cup of water, so you're going to add a cup of milk. And then instead of oil, you're going to add melted butter. Mine called for half a cup of oil, so I added half a cup of melted butter, which was 1 stick of butter. So once you get all of that added, then you're going to, I like to use my paddle attachment, to mix up cake mixes and stuff, and you're going to give that a really good mix until it's smooth. And then to prepare your pans, whatever pan you're going to put this in, this is what I did. I did kind of what I like to call the overkill method, which is sort of like a great way to ensure that whatever you're putting in your pan is not going to stick. I took a piece of parchment paper and now I am folding it into triangles. And I'm going to measure the bottom of the pan. So I'm just going to stick the point of the triangle. I think I fold it one more time. Nope. I'm going to stick the point of the triangle kind of in the center of the pan, and then I'm going to cut where the edge of the pan is. So you can do this a couple ways. You can lay the pan upside down and then trace around it and then cut out a whole circle. But this is just easier. The cut is much easier to make. I just think it's a little bit faster. This is just how I like to do it. And if you want to draw around the cake pan and cut out a circle, you can. So here I unfolded it and I saw that it was way too big, because I didn't measure good. And then I just fold it back up and trim off some more. It's really that simple, and it does not have to be perfect. You just want it to cover around the bottom and maybe into the corners. So what this does, usually when a cake sticks, it either sticks in the corners or kind of in the center of the bottom. So the parchment paper sticks to the cake. Well, you spray it with some oil, but it sticks to the cake and you don't have to worry about the bottom of your cake sticking to the bottom of the pan. So I did that twice because I was making 2 round cakes. You would just want to do this for whatever size cake pan or whatever cake pan that you're using. And so you don't necessarily have to go through all of this trouble to do this. You could just spray the bottom of your cake pan with some oil. And if you feel confident in that and your ability to do that, that's what I would recommend doing. I did that. So I bought 2 boxes of cake mix for this. So I went ahead and made the other one as well. And for that one, I just sprayed my pan with some oil. And it was good enough. So now you're going to spray your pan with oil, the whole thing. You want to make sure you really get into the corners. Then you're going to put in your parchment paper that you cut out and just smooth that out on the bottom, making sure it sticks really good. And then you're going to add more oil on top of that, just on top of the parchment paper. You could spray the sides again, but it doesn't really matter. So you're going to do that for both of your cake pans. And then once you get that done for both of your cake pans, you're going to add about a handful of flour, and you're going to make sure that everything gets coated in the flour. You don't want it to get too coated. You're going to knock off the excess, tap it on the counter, etc. But the flour is just another layer of protection for your cake, basically to help keep it from sticking to the sides of your pan. So when you put your flour in, you just want to kind of knock it around a little bit. I put in a little too much, and it's going to make a mess. I really recommend doing this over the sink, because then you can just rinse the flour down the drain, or maybe over the trash can. It's only over the trash can if you feel like you got a really good hold on the pan, because sometimes with all the oil they can get slippery. And then I just put the extra in the other pan. And then I banged it on the counter on the other side and knocked off some more because I didn't want to bang it on my little table and potentially bump my camera again. So you just do that for both of your pans and then set them out of the way until you're ready to pour your batter in. So once you get that done and your oven is preheated, you're going to put in your batter. And mine was a little bit thicker. I was thinking to myself, wow, this is kind of, there it is. There's another camera bump that it's a little thicker than normal, but my cake turned out really good. So I guess if it was too runny, it would take forever to cook. So you just want to kind of evenly scoop your cake batter out into the pans and set that aside. And then I am going to spread out the batter so that it's even and pretty flat on top. And you can kind of see the flour layer is really preventing the cake from sticking to the sides. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm tapping the cake on the counter. This further flattens it out so that you get a pretty flat top, but it also releases any air bubbles that might be trapped in the cake. This just makes it so that you don't have like big pockets in your cake. This is good to do for cakes and for breads. Some breads you might want, some air pockets, and that's good. But some breads maybe you necessarily don't. You wouldn't really want a big air bubble in your cake, because then when you bite into your cake, there's going to be a big old hole in it. And it could cause problems like maybe that part of the cake is overcooked or, that kind of thing. So just give it a couple taps on the counter. And there you go. Now it's ready to put in the oven. So you're going to bake it according to the package instructions. Mine was 350. I cooked it for 28 minutes. And come back tomorrow and I'll show you how to make buttercream. If you want to see more recipes like these, check out loavesandishes.net. If you want to hear more from myself and my mom, we do have a podcast. It's called Dorks with Sporks, and you can find that wherever you listen to podcasts. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We put out a new video every Monday through Friday, and you can follow us on Facebook at Loaves and Dishes for more. Thanks for watching.